looks as if the race has just started. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third event of the Metrics Instruction Olympics. This is Rogue Dawn. I am Trias Unit, one of the commentators today. Also joined in a moment will be Sigurd Hoops. Now, the objective of this is any percent, no major glitches, so this will mean nothing can be done in Asteroid, and sort of an unspoken rule that wasn't really mentioned in the forum thread was that any form of death abuse is also not allowed. Now, we see on Notiva's stream that he has just done the first important piece of tech, which is, I don't know if it has a proper name, but I'll just call it a bounce ball, where you use the physics, Asteroid's physics, to bounce the morph ball over that gap. And you might have seen on MST's side, if you miss that, it's pretty much a reset. Just the amount of time it takes to get back and reattempt that bounce just takes way too long. And that nets us bombs. And with that, our next objective is to start making our way to go pick up high jump and also pick up this energy tank that we see Notiva going to grab right now. Looks like MST is having trouble with this bounce. See Pikmin also picking up that E-tank as well. Looks like Saffron has just pulled ahead and made his way into the underwater section of the surface of the planet, which is where we're going to find high jump, and if I remember correctly, we will also find another neat item which was introduced into this hack, which is wall jump. MST picking up that same E-tank. Saffron has just picked up high jump. Seeing there's quite a bit of a gap between each of the runners, but that could probably change near towards the end of the game, as the later stage of the game looks more likely to probably end a few runs or set some runners back.
My apologies.
Oh, welcome, Sacred. You haven't missed much. Pikmin and Notiva neck and neck with each other, just picking up high jump.
Sweet.
And we see Saffron entering one of the many secret rooms that were brought about in Rogue Dawn, which all contain that Metroid that you saw in the background. We will be seeing at least another one of these, if I remember, throughout the run.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember myself for one. Yeah, I think since the adaptation from what we did for the final area, there's only 2 Metroid rooms now.
Yes, and we see that Saffron has now just picked up the wall jump, which is a new item introduced in his Rogue Dawn.
Very beautiful item.
Yes. It makes climbing in Asteroid makes it bearable.
Very much so. Very much so.
Also, Saffron passing by, another great feature of this hack is refill stations. If a player stands on one of these stations, it will rapidly refill their health, and it will slowly increase their missile count. Another nice addition which alleviates some of the pains of Nestroid.
Very, very much so. Do apologize, I'm waiting for everything to catch up on a whole.
Saffron now just picking up the spring ball, which from this point on, if I remember correctly, Sacred, spring ball. Once you have spring ball, morph ball movement becomes a little bit faster than just running around.
Yes, if you do jump around with spring ball, you do launch yourself, and you get a little bit of velocity with that. So there is a lot of bit of movement you can do to make your life a lot easier. Thus.
Saffron now heading into the GFS, or Galactic Federation Outpost facility base thing.
The Science Federation ship. It's
Yes.
surprising. He's actually ahead of MST. Suffering a little bit today.
Yeah, MST did have a bit of trouble with the first bounce towards bombs, that is.
Troll.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still plenty of room to make up in this race. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
I imagine the hive would probably pose a bit of problem for the runners.
Oh, there's room between the hive and grade. Especially on the way to create. There's always room for failure.
So there's that
Anything
second.
to
Sorry about that, Sacred. So we just saw the first, the second secret room, which allows us to get very quick access into this boss fight, which is supposed to be Ridley, but it's now this Federation boss man. We just press bombs and we win.
Yes, this science dude. He was just there to pogo. And like you said, we press bombs and we win when we move on.
Yep. Witness a bit of lore and pick up this capsule for plot-related reasons, I believe.
Yeah, it was originally designed just so it could pop open the front of the Metroid in the
Right.
end. Sorry, I had to put words together there.
That's fine.
Sorely bad job.
Speaking of this base, MST and Nodifa, they get neck and neck to each other, just entering said facility. Pikmin just taking out the boss man as well. So Saffron's next stop now will be to head back to the main base to go pick up a few things.
Yep, he's going to be on his way back in to get down to the Chozo jungle so we can pick up his, if he wants it, there's Varia there. There'll be a boss and an energy tank. And he's currently the first ahead, which is really shocking and a good pace. Again, Pikmin right behind him, just getting to the elevator and getting out. Meanwhile, we have another double Metroid High Five as MST and Novidia go in and start their runs.
Yep. You also notice that the runners are only slightly going up that shaft and then dropping back down. Basically, there's a trigger that just tells the game, okay, load this part of the room up instead. And
Yes, there's like a specific spot in the room that once you pass it, you'll see it like trigger a little bit of a quick flash. If you're not really paying attention, you won't notice it, but that's the transition, so you can then, as soon as you hit the top of your jump, hit down with Morph Ball if you have Spring Ball, which is why we get it. So you can transition to the next room and hopefully don't see a Metroid. At least that's the idea. And it looks like we'll have our last Ridley kill going to MST.
It's as if both Node and MSC have dealt with Fake Ridley, so now on their way back to the surface, back to the ship.
The hardest part about going through the main core is just those little flashing balls. They both deal differing damages, and it's just, they're nice awkwarding places to just go nice with what would, well, I'm trying to remember their technical name, but the only name that comes to my mind is what would be lettuce leaves.
I believe they are replicating the waivers. If you're talking about the flashing just balls that are...
No, I was talking about
being...
the other thing paired with them.
Oh, I believe, yeah, those are either Rio's or Garuda's, one of the two. I think they behave near enough the same.
Thank you, and as you can see, Saffron took the secret back entrance by the waterfall to get inside.
Then for the bomb strats for taking out Kraid. However, this is a bit of a pickle for him. Still gets out no problem though. 23 energy is a pretty scary number to leave on.
Unfortunately, if he did take another hit, that might have been back to the start of the area, and that would have gave Pikmin a chance to get this fight underway with 180 going in. Safi picks up the second tank on the way out, though, so he'll have 299 for the start of the venture into the Hive. If that is his next destination, he could opt to go and get Varia for safety. We will see.
Yes.
And he's going. Meanwhile, we got Pikmin. Getting decent bomb strats so far. Didn't lose too much energy. And there we go. It was like 3 hits on him.
Yep. Easy game, easy life.
Meanwhile, we have a little bit of caution going on over here.
Yeah, Nodiva having a bit of trouble with the giant tower of electrical spikes and waivers and just all things annoying.
And he's forgetting the refill that is down below. Oh no.
Let's hope.
Ooh! Rips.
Oh, yeah, yikes.
Just get some Fs.
Just got slapped by that Zuma.
Properly so. Remember your missiles. Meanwhile, Pikmin opting to go for that Varia definitely does have the time. And MST cleaning up with Kraid now himself too.
Kraid himself just dealt with it. Yep.
And we got another Varia attempt.
We'll see what MST is electing for, whether he'll skip the Varia or he'll take it himself.
Hopefully enough practice has taught him it's time to go, but we'll see.
Yeah,
even he likes to play caution. Nope.
Yeah, it looks as if he's skipping it.
Yeah, he's gunning.
Yeah.
I think he knows he's behind Safi a little bit.
Yeah, perhaps. Meanwhile, Saffron heading down
to
what I believe the map calls the Boneyard.
Yes, this is the Boneyard. Yep. This was once a very early visited state and place once we got High Jump in order to come get Spring Ball in its natural location. Air quotes. But when we found out about the speedrunner location, yeah, this was just a means of getting to what is now the Hive. And the reason we do all bosses, gate check. Gates 1 and 2 are controlled by fake and real guy. Kill them both, get access.
Yep.
Also of notation, we've also picked up Ice Beam on the way in, which MST is on the way too.
Yep. Meanwhile, Saffron dealing with bootleg Shack Tool. "32 missiles, no problem."
Beautiful. And if I'm not mistaken, I cannot pronounce this person's name, but they picked up an extra energy tank on the way out of getting Varia.
Likely Nodova.
Notiver, thank you.
Okay. Meanwhile, Saffron now approaching the Hive.
Indeed. Let the trolls begin.
Oh boy.
Oh yes.
Getting all the 30 energy drops.
Nope. Getting all these missiles. Got a pack of 30 off the bat. Wow, pack of 90s.
Nice.
Got 90 out of the gate. Jesus, I'm usually getting all missiles, not all missiles, all energy all the way up to here. Especially these guys. The quintet of middle fingers. These guys are infamous for energy bombs. And there's proof.
Looks like MST is having trouble with this wall jump in the boneyard. There we go, finally gets it.
Yes, he does. Meanwhile,
Node
having
has-
trouble with it has given... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Node has finally taken Crate out and picked up that intended energy tank.
Woo!
So health-wise, should be pretty much set for the rest of the game.
And MST managed to get a clip on one of the energies. I mean, the gates. Nice. And as mentioned, Pikmin is not too far behind him, so he has to make great hustle. Speaking of great hustles, Saffron is already up the Great Wall and is on his way to the Mother Hive room.
If I remember correctly, there was supposed to be a maze that the runners would have to navigate through. But-
Traditionally, yes.
But I believe
Otherwise-
1.2 added a skip to that maze.
Yes, there's a shortcut that is built into sort of what is reminiscent to the SNES Gauntlet wall climb. That originally, if you wanted to get up that way, as you can see all those little mini Metroids with vines as continue to pursue through this room, you'd have to damage boost through those in order to get up originally.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, MST is now in the Hive, making his way through the room. And Pikmin, just finishing off the Guardian himself, is now on the way down through too.
Yep. Meanwhile, Nodova about to make his way up into the upper sections of the ship to go pick up ice, make his way down to the yard himself. Saffron about to go through the Zebatites and go slap us a giant Metroid.
Yeah, this room is definitely not kind in any way, shape, or form. Ever since its creation all the way to this point, we've made adjustments to make it fair. And we've concluded that, you know what, by Nestroid standards, it's fair even though it's unfair.
It's as fair as it'll get
Exactly.
for Nestroid standards. But yeah, I think if I remember reading up on one of your run explanations, is that do this room fast, do it quickly, because it can start spiraling out of control really quickly if you start slowing down in this
In
last
case-
room.
Case in point, coming to life as you speak it, Saffron was doing decent with a missile count, was feeding for energy, is now suffering from the missile relapse. There it is. Get behind the Metroid, don't waste time. And MST froze big time on my screen, or he's way behind. Because Pikmin's about to catch up and he's coming up the wall hard. Ooh, he's latched. Get it off you!
Oh yeah, no, that's bad. That's bad.
Oof, oof, oof.
Okay, now just don't get hit by the Rinkas.
Yep.
And unfortunately, because of this, there is a bit of a sweet spot that looks like he's got it.
Yep. Just don't take another hit. Ooh, do not take another hit. Get that Metroid. Get that Metroid. Ooh.
Well, Node taking out the bootleg shack tool. Making his
Meanwhile, we
way
get
to the hive as well.
MS2s in the hive.
Yep.
There was 2 hits left. MST can, if you can get through here and get behind the Metroid, can steal a first. Oh, this is how
Yikes.
punishing this game is.
Yikes.
But meanwhile,
And to think there's variolous one-tank strats introduced.
ugh,
Or at least theorized.
theorized, done it. It's a pain. MST has to be very careful. He only has, like, yeah, these Rinkas do 30. He only has 4 hits.
He can only afford 3 hits. After that, it's... You can't take any more than that.
Meanwhile, I think Pikmin's in the room too, but he's suffering already from missile relapse. Alright, MST's in the back.
Yep. Just trying to avoid those Rinkas.
Oh yeah. It is Duck Duck Rinka. Constant steady flow. Pikmin's struggling. Getting the energy he needs, just needs those missiles. We got 1 down, and it's MST.
But he still needs to get out, though.
Famous last words. Don't get greedy, Pikmin. Barrier only does so much.
Yep.
Oh no! Safi's out of missiles trying to make his way back. This is harsh.
Oh dear.
Thankfully, if you can get back, besides going up the elevator, there is a pool of liquid just before doing the gauntlet wall.
Yes.
But it's guarded by 2 Metroids. Meanwhile, MST making semi-respectable escape here. He's doing pretty decent.
Yep. Hasn't been caught by any of the Metroids yet. You see Safi is in the room that you're talking about. Unfortunately, has gotten pinned, just got himself pinned by those 2 Metroids. Meanwhile, Pikmin eventually caved to the hive.
Yep, I've claimed another one. And this happens a lot, people, let me tell you. Trying to chase the world record, you cannot believe how many runs come to the golden moment of you, the Metroid, and that Rinka getting you in the butt. And I mean it, the butt.
I mean, as someone who has held the world record yourself, I'm sure you'd how awful that room can be. Just this entire area.
As someone that's offered many possible tweak or suggestions to help minimize the over frustration that it is, yeah, it's still frustration. Mainly because it's just got... It suffers from what most NES games suffer from, and it's just critical slowdown. I mean, 8 bits can only go so far and so fast before, you know, it's gotta catch up.
Yeah.
And it's usually in those moments that you're kind of getting sniped in the butt. We do have MST got to be the first one out.
Yep,
What's his official time?
Finished first place with a time of 23 minutes and 50 seconds.
Ooh. Not bad. And that was deathless too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was deathless, and, well, it wasn't resetless. He did have some trouble with the initial bounce. But there was no death. Although this hive room is giving Nodova some trouble here.
Yeah, he's looking for energy, and I don't blame him, but again...
I only now just seen the finish screen. Oh my goodness, MST.
Again, to your point, TAU, note over here taking a little bit too much time where you can't sit in this room and farm. It will eat you alive. It's already eaten 2 runners. Will it claim a 3rd?
I hope not, but Node now does have enough energy, or a decent amount of energy, and has max missiles. He shouldn't have to worry about...
Yeah, should literally just worry about getting down those Zebetite walls, and then after all that, because of Varya, you're only taking 20 damage instead of 30. I would wait to get through the walls, and then there we go. Now you focus on farming this droid. Maybe you get a little bit of health, max out your missiles, but you gotta get back on his butt, because Safi, who's already been through the room, and Pikmin, who's also already been through the room, don't have to do the Zebetites because they're down. There's Safi now. Oof. Ah! 2 pixels too high. Notiver gets in. 142 has a full pack of missiles. Safi gets the sweet spot. Pikmin's still struggling to get up there. It is a race for the backstab of 2nd place.
Yep, it is close between Safi and Nodova.
Safi has just a slightly ahead of lead. Pikmin struggling to climb back up into the room. Don't blow that one up. Get on it. Get on it. Yeah! I'm sorry. It excites me to see when people actually set something up that I'm like, that's a golden moment. What are you doing? I'm pretty sure other people that have, run speedruns like that have sat there and watched people and like spat out their coffee going, you're wasting 15 seconds.
Not sure I could attest to that, I'm afraid. I don't know. Different run. I don't know. I think I was trying to go somewhere with that, but the words just didn't come out.
That's life.
As someone who has also done their fair share of speed running various games, don't know. Maybe I just never experienced that type of just witnessing the golden moment and watching it. I don't know.
Speaking of golden moments,
Pikmin, let's just thread the needle.
Yep. Pikmin's just gonna thread the needle. Meanwhile, Safi literally has to keep threading this needle. Not to wish bad RNG, but he botches this final room. It is Novidir's for the win for 2nd.
Yep.
Pikmin coming in strong. Almost done. Just has to keep plowing a few more shots.
Meanwhile, Safi going up the giant jellyfish room.
Jelly vines.
They're awful.
They are awful, but if you want to persevere, you can wall jump through them to get up. It is just painful, as is the room. Nonetheless, Pikmin blowing it up.
Yep. And on a less painful note, Saffron is also finished.
Woo!
2nd place with a time of 29:05.
Dang. I remember when we were killing for 29s. Speaking of finishing for 29s.
Yep. Looks like Nodova has also finished. With a time of 29 minutes and 45. So now it is just Pikmin with the escape. And it looks as if for Nodova that 3rd energy tank paid off.
That did pay off. I mean, again, unlike everyone else, unless, everyone that did had started, trouble at the start, but with the Shetsu and MST, which obviously, has done enough runs to know where to stand, where to go, how to shoot, and all that. But for someone that didn't have just as much experience, that third energy tank and Varya still paid off. Even after losing to Kraid, still managed to make a nice comeback there, which is awesome.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is more of a game where it's easy to start it and get a decent time, but then there's all the movement optimizations and just all other optimizations is where runs just start going to hell.
Oh yeah. You can figure out patterns, you can get the RNG, you can contest with the RNG. But then I think MST said it the best is you have to literally have everything in Nestroid go right with it while you're moving. So when Nestroid goes correct, that's when you get that, those runs where you get through them on the Metroid without dying. You don't have stupid RNG like dropping down the pit during the first 5 seconds of the game. Or excuse me, the first minute of the game.
Meanwhile, Pikmin has just finished up with a time of 31 minutes and 2 seconds.
Whoa!
Looks like people being brought in already.
Hey there.
That's Saffron, and MST is in the background as well.
Thank you.
So,
Hello.
I think we will start with Safi, let's say. So, yeah, congratulations on second place.
Thanks. That was very... I really didn't expect to die right at the last moment, but because it just kind of happens. The rest of the run was good, though. So I'm happy with that, but maybe just some more practice to not die in the final room like I always do. Hopefully.
Well, yeah, the final room had claimed a lot of the runners. So.
Yeah. I got lucky the second time because it just gets rid of the Zebatites automatically.
Yeah.
You figure out better strats for that. But that's pretty much all I have to say.
Okay.
Fuck the Metroid.
words, but
fuck the Metroids. That's all I can say. Just fuck the Metroids.
True.
Yeah.
Wow, language banned.
See, that's Pikmin has just come in as well. Yeah, everyone's here. So, despite coming in fourth, 31 minutes is still a pretty good time, Pikmin.
I had a personal best, but because the Metroid room went as it was, it just irked me. That along with my microphone dying.
I think everyone had a, comparatively speaking, relatively bad runs for each of us this
Yeah, I think
like somebody said, bad luck.
Yeah.
I think each runner's had some kind of slip up in this run. So MST had some trouble with the first bounce. Others had some trouble with the hive. We had one have some trouble with Kraid. So, but there is still time, and there's still a chance to improve that time next week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
Always be a chance to.
Yeah, next time I will try to not get as many extra safety items. See if that'll help.
I think it was my safety items.
Well, I mean,
At
to your
least-
benefit, you did come in third, even with picking up that third energy tank and Varya, which it still paid off for you because you still got through.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
The extra
sorry,
defense,
words
the
aren't
extra health.
falling out.
And it was the game was a lot nicer to you than Legacy, let's say.
Yes, I'm just glad to have a finished run under my belt.
Ridley in
So for
this is
next
much
week-
easier.
Ridley is
Yeah,
much easier.
If I would have known I would have had so much trouble in Legacy, I would have been more safe like this run. Got some extra items, but that's why going to both races is helpful, I guess. So you can learn from it.
Oh yeah, you get your one to get the beat, get beaten, then you take your second one and learn from it, and you turn it around.
Yeah.
No, this is a pretty free run, but very punishing for mistakes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, as we were talking earlier, it looks as if it's fairly easy to pick up, but when it comes to optimizations and trying to do
There's
the
a lot
fast
of ways,
strats.
time, and a lot more ways to lose health.
Like, you can float like a butterfly, but as MST said before, if Nestroid doesn't play correctly for you, it's gonna sting you like a bee. Forget the butterfly floating stuff.
But now that all of our runners have finished, we've just been told the scores have been updated. So as it currently stands for this week, MST with 23 minutes of 50 will earn a time score of 14.98. Saffron will earn 14.278. Meanwhile, Nodiva gets 14.11, and Pikmin with 13.76. However, that can all change next week if one chooses to participate as well next week.
Yep.
And next week we'll be at a very earlier time than this, so if we were enjoying your dinner, we're glad to have been your dinner meal. But yeah, next week is at lunchtime, I believe? Noon?
I think it's 11.
11?
a.m. EST.
Ah. 12, okay. 12 for sure.
Yeah, which would be 12 EST. Thank you very much for correcting, Jiffy.
So yeah, I think once again, thank you very much to everyone that had watched. Congratulations to everyone who raced at their places, and hope you can improve. I've been Secret Hooves. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, sorry. I've been TAU, Trios Unit. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next mission. And as always, hack Metroid.
I thought
Okay.
Ooh was the last thing you're gonna say, not Hack Metroid.